I'm Justin from the Adelaide Data 3 sales team, and today we're going to be covering off Azure Stack and where it potentially sits within the digital transformation roadmap. With me today is Bala from our professional services team. Bala is very much our local Azure and Azure Stack specialist. In fact, Bala was last year handpicked by Microsoft to undertake some pre-release training for Azure Stack in Singapore, in fact, which was fantastic in that Bala was only one of 2 or 3 people within Australia to be picked to go. So, Bala, I think you would agree, and we hear it all the time, or quite often when we speak to our government customers, that they're under a lot of pressure to deliver more, faster, with less resources year on year. I think the public at large, CEs, ministers, everyone is sort of expecting agencies to do more with less resources. Right. And then we hear the throwaway line, or often that tag, that digital transformation is going to solve everything, or it's going to be everything for every agency. Yeah. I know that we've spoken in the past, but very much the idea of application modernisation is a part of that transformation possibly. But when we say application modernisation, what does it mean from your experience?
That's a great question, Justin. Well, application modernisation is at the heart of digital transformation, which gives opportunity to every organisation to engage their customers, employ their employees, and also help them with optimizing, streamlining their operations. Sure. At the same time, it's also transforming their products and services. Yeah. So it's all about the application. It's all about apps, being agile, time to value, how quickly you're going to be in the market. So that's the thing.
So let's say, for example, an agency has a in-house developed application, something to run application forms for applications or licensing or fines or something like that. What does application modernisation mean in a scenario like that?
Great. If you take a look at it, based on my experience working with a few local government departments, most of the applications are running in a virtualized platform. So that's a pretty much like 3-tier architecture. So to run a one web application, so you will have a web front end, and then you will have a application server for batch processing, and also you will have a SQL backend. So 3 virtual machines to run a single website. So that's the current environment that we have. If you take a look at it, the world currently, where the world is going towards from an app development perspective, everything is moving into a microservices, and also a serverless computing and containers. Right. That's where the world is moving towards to. So all the applications that are being built, it's all cloud native applications, which are pretty much aligning that microservices, serverless computing, containers architecture. So that's where I do see that there's a gap there.
So where do you see Azure Stack? Where does Azure Stack and the concept of Azure Stack sort of sit in that scenario?
Definitely. Before we move on to Azure Stack, let's just take a step back. So Azure has been in the market for quite a while now. So most of our South Australian government agencies are now part of that journey, and they are on Azure. They
know it, they're comfortable with it, they know how to use it and interact.
So we do have presence of Azure in there. So we do have developers developing application on Azure. It provides you a rich platform to develop application using any tools that you have. It's an open platform for all. But if you take a look at some of the agencies do have application that they do have some obstacles like such as it could be a data gravity or dependencies, and also
information security.
That's right. So security and regulatory compliance is the most important one. So those applications cannot be moved to cloud immediately. Right. So now let's take a look at what Azure Stack is. Azure Stack is nothing but an extension of Azure. So you have Azure software running in a piece of hardware and connected to your data center, and it's running in your on-premise environment. So consider that pretty much. So you have Azure running locally in your on-premise environment. So for example, for government clients who want to be ahead of the curve from an application development, application modernization perspective, they can use this as an opportunity to convert their application, re-architecture the application move into a containers, move into a serverless computing, move into a microservices architecture. So there's a stepping stone for that.
Yeah.
At the same time, if there are any line of application, they are not compatible or they do have some dependency, so you can pretty much move them into Azure Stack, running in your on-prem itself. So those are the possible outcomes.
So it's a way to bring transparently Azure into your premise. It's an opportunity for IT departments to offer microservices to their business, to their agency, and to their customers.
Definitely.
All transparent, and it's also sort of a stepping stone to potentially one day being a full cloud migration, possibly, if that's what.
Absolutely, if that's exactly what they're.
I
mean, for most of the organization, cloud is not going to be one shop for all. So it's got to be hybrid cloud. So partly running on-prem, partly running in cloud. So in Azure. So hybrid cloud is the future.
Yeah, and that's very much the key, I think, is the hybrid component to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So other than what we've sort of spoken about already, so application modernisation, what are some of the other potential use cases that you've seen for Azure Stack? We've spoken about in the past, you and I, potential for business continuity, disaster recovery. What other scenarios?
That's right. So if for customers who have Azure presence already, Australia have 2 regions and one is coming up in Canberra. So if you don't have any workloads running in Azure afternoon, so if you want to have production back to on-prem, you can use Azure Stack as your backup target to back up your workloads from Azure to Azure Stack. And also you can use Azure Stack to protect your workloads on-premise as well as a backup. So that's there, always there. And leaving that DR and BC aside, you do have another use cases, such as you can have your SharePoint form. You have a multiple SharePoint form running. You can consolidate them, run a managed SharePoint form in Azure Stack. Same way you can run a managed SQL server, managed CRM server. So you can become a Azure provider for your other government agencies. And there's plenty of other opportunities in there. So
great. Now, Data3 very much runs a fixed cost 5-day proof of concept around Azure Stack. Typically, what could our customers expect from that sort of engagement?
So if you take a look at it, what Microsoft recommends is even our recommendation as a trusted advisor, before you consider or committing to buying any production unit, we would always recommend you to proof of concept that. So Microsoft released a Azure Stack development kit. It's a development version where you can pretty much download and install it on a piece of hardware that matches the requirement. And part of our proof of concept service is a fixed price, few days engagement. What we will do is we will help you in establishing the foundation of Azure Stack, and also help your IT team and developer team to show them the differences, the user experience, how it looks like, and also help you in implementing, designing, and also help you in planning the workloads that are suitable to migrate to Azure Stack. So that's a great fixed price service.
And in addition to that, Data3 also has Data3 Adelaide, in fact, has one of the first Azure Stack appliances.
That's right.
And it's just behind us here. And I know that you've been working on it and spinning it up and getting it up and running. But also, we are more than happy to, on request, make that appliance available for our state government customers to get their hands on it, to see what it looks like in their environment, see what the connectivity is like, how does it perform and the like.
Definitely.
Definitely. Now, Bala, I know that you live and breathe this technology, this understanding and the potential and the future of where it all might sit. We thank you for viewing. We thank you for sharing your comments if you'd like. We've got a lot more topics to come. We're going to touch on customer engagement using CRM and case management and all those sort of things, where IoT could potentially support digital transformation within state government, as well as other technologies around Cisco, VMware, and
Office 365, Teams, collaboration, security. And,
great. So, and as I say, below this video within the email will be some more information, some links. Our contact details will be in there. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, Bala. I've really enjoyed it.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks.
Thanks.